Hello everybody, this is Reviews and More, back with another very quick air fryer review. So kitchen item here. This is from West Bend. This was $40 over at Sam's Club, so that's the price point we're dealing with. This is West Bend's 7-quart, I'm going to call it a bucket style air fryer. So basically it has basically a you pull it out, put it back in. It's a very simple mechanism, and I prefer that type of air fryer over like the French door or the toaster oven style because it's just more areas of failure. Overall, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil the review. It's a great little air fryer. $40 was the price on sale. I think it might be $50, maybe as high as 60, depending where you get it. But at Sam's, I think it was at $40 for the holiday season. And overall, very, very high quality air fryer. All the parts feel very good, feels very snug, doesn't feel like a whole bunch of loose bits and things that can come with cheaper air fryers. But at the end of the day, if it lasts for a year, it's $40, and I tend to use my air fryers pretty heavily. These come with the quote-unquote diamond shield on them. That's basically just a non-stick ceramic coating on the actual bucket or the basin, as well as the trivet inside the basin. And it's fairly easy to clean as long as you don't use a whole bunch of soap and like wipe off that coating that kind of keeps it kind of non-stick. Once you get the whole thing out, it's all pretty much ready to go. Do a quick rinse and cleaning of the basin as well as the actual trivet in there, because there can be some stuff from the factory you don't want to cook into your food. But other than that, it's basically plug and play, ready to go. Has lots of cool settings on it. The main one I use obviously is the air fry setting. You can also have a French fry setting. Each one does a different thing depending on what your needs are. The air fry setting lets you customize your time and temperature, although in any of the internal settings like French fries, fish, you can change the cook time as well as the temperature for them, whatever your recipe needs are. There's also a cake baking option, a defrost option. There's even a dehydrating option. So if you want to like dehydrate, make jerky, make like dehydrated crisp fruit or something, you can do that as well. I have not experimented too much with that. I've mainly done the air frying and the French fries with it, but in this little demo, you're going to see me use the French fries. And again, spoiler, it's a great little air fryer, does the job very well. Has a little internal light so you can see what's going on. So if you're not sure if it's cooking hot enough, you can see the little sizzle of the oils and the water boiling off inside the air fryer on the various foods you might use. Comes with a very small instruction booklet with some basic stuff for things like, hey, how do you cook these French fries when they're frozen? Kind of tells you how to do that versus when they're thawed. Just some basic small changes like that. Now, if you don't know a whole lot about air fryers, they are not ovens, as there was a popular meme out there saying that, oh, all these millennials just discovered what ovens are. It doesn't really do that. This air fryers use forced air. There you see the basin right there, and it pushes down constant flow of hot air onto the item you're cooking, which basically simulates a frying. Now, if you're looking to bread your own chicken and throw it in here as an air fryer, it's not really going to work. It'll be more like shake and bake at that point. Typically, air fryers work best with things that are pre-cooked, pre-fried, or there are no expectations that they be cooked in that manner. So like French fries are obviously not typically pre-cooked, but they are flash frozen, and they're good to go, and they fry just fine. But with things like if you were to like bread shrimp, or if you were to bread like onion rings, and you threw them in here and they weren't already pre-cooked onion rings like in the frozen food section, they would not turn out the way you would expect. So just keep that in mind when you're using air fryers. There you see me trying to mess with the trivet a little bit. Overall, again, this is a very, very decent air fryer for the price. There are better ones out there, but if you're just sitting there like, I need to make sure I can cook enough pizza pockets for my whole family or enough chicken nuggets for all my kids or all that, so this is for you, because it's 7 quarts, holds a lot of space, and allows you to basically cook a full like course inside your meal, whatever it might be that you're making, without a whole lot of muss or fuss. And there you see all the various settings. You have all, they'll run through there, as well as the little light at the bottom. There's a keep warm option, which is awesome, by the way, because I'm notorious for starting an air fryer, forgetting I was cooking something, and then but with that keep warm option, you can keep your stuff at like 130 degrees for a little while. Might dry it out if you wait too long, but if you're like me and you're kind of forgetful, if the keep warm option's on, it'll keep it warm while you're cooking other stuff for a major meal, that kind of thing. So if you're like cooking 3 courses and only one thing involves the air fryer, you can air fry it, hit the keep warm button, and things keep going just fine. You can cook the other stuff on the side that you need to cook. So very, very nice feature there. Probably my favorite feature out of all the various little buttons there you got. But the keep warm option is one of those like quality of life things that not all air fryers have. All right, next we're going to dump in these French fries. These are just standard shoelace French fries from Harris Teeter. They were the cheapest ones I could find because I didn't want to get something that was well made, because then it might be an issue with, well, the French fries you bought were better than the average French fry. Why did you get some Walmart French fries? So I got the cheapest French fries I could find at the grocery store that was near my post office, because I had to run errands that day. and you just throw them in there. Obviously, the more fries you throw in, the longer it's going to take to cook. So if you just want like the equivalent of like a medium fry, it's going to cook pretty quickly. If you want a medium fry for a family of 4, then it's going to take a little longer. So just keep that in mind as you're running through all this. That as you cook more, you need as you cook more volume, you need to increase your cook time. The nice thing about the French fry button, the French fry setting on this is as it starts, basically every 3 minutes, it'll remind you with a couple beeps to hey, pull the bucket out, shake it around a little bit, and put it back in. So once you hear that first set of beeping after about 3 to 4 minutes, that's your cue to start shaking up the fries to get them kind of rounded out so they're nice and cooked evenly all around. Other things noted about the air fryer, it's not super loud. I mean, all air fryers kind of all sound about the same because they're all using forced air motors to kind of get things done. They're not really soundproofed in any way. So it will, if you have a lot going on in your kitchen, you won't hear it. But if you have almost nothing going on in your kitchen, it'll be kind of annoying to hear in the background if you're sensitive to sound like that. I personally am not, because anytime in my kitchen, there's always something making noise, whether it's an exhaust fan, this thing, something's beeping, something's being blended, something's happening in my kitchen, which means there's always noise. But the noise this one produces is not extra obtrusive or extra bad or anything. It's just pretty typical. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind as you're working with this particular air fryer is you should probably clean it after every use. I mean, some people do, some people don't. Depends on what I'm cooking. If I'm cooking something that's going to have leaking fluid, think about like pizza bites or pizza bagels, anything that's got sauce on the inside. Clean it right after because it's going to get messy. French fries aren't quite so bad, and the trivet kind of makes any kind of drippings fall at the bottom. So if you're going to sit there, you don't have to clean it after every use, but it needs to be cleaned at the end of all your uses just to make sure it doesn't get grimy and sticky. Because even with that non-stick coating, if you let grease sit on there, it's not, and it dries out, it'll be very difficult to get off. And I know that from personal experience of being a slob. So just keep that in mind. Do a quick rinse, quick wash. Just take a sponge over top of it, or not a damp paper towel, but rather a little hand towel, and that'll take care of 90% of all your accumulation and grime built up on this thing. But other than that, guys, it's a great little item. As you see right there, cooks the fries to perfection, nice and crispy. Obviously, I like mine steaming hot on the inside and crunchy on the outside, which is what this did. Took about 10 to 12 minutes of shaking and everything else to get it where it needed to be. Obviously, if you don't shake it, the tops will be almost burnt. The bottom will be still raw, so just keep that in mind. The shaking is put in there and is part of the whole system for making the French fries. And there's similar options for like fish, meat, roast, that kind of stuff for rotating and timing things out. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.